Welcome back, everybody. So, yesterday I officially broke into the sealant and sealed my very first parts onto the right tank skin. This is the fuel cap and the drain attachment. And I can now definitively agree with everybody else who's ever gone before me and done this that fuel tank sealant sucks. It can and will stick to absolutely everything. It is thick, it is viscous, it smells horrible. Yeah. And I learned the hard way real quick. You see, I got a bunch of stuff on that one side of the workbench there. That posed a problem later on. You need to start with the bench completely clean, both sides, because you never know what you're going to need, and trying to move and rearrange stuff when you've got sealant everywhere is not ideal. Right now, I am setting the C-frame up for something y'all haven't seen me do with it yet before. That one of the nice things about the Clemson C-frame is you can rivet with it. So I am changing out the base plate from the one that has the die in it, or the hole for the dies, to one that is smooth and clean and set up for back riveting. And there's a back riveting attachment that goes in it. So getting that set up, because I don't have a squeezer yoke small enough to reach in through the filler neck and squeeze those rivets. I could have just used the rivet gun. It probably would have been easier. It might be what I do on the next tank, because this made one heck of a mess. And I didn't think about the sealant getting all over the little white plastic cup on the back riveting set. I cleaned it off with some acetone, but I think I might have made it brittle doing that. So for the next tank, I'll probably just use the rivet gun and a bucking bar. Right now, I'm getting everything taped up and cleaned up. I'm also making that little clip that holds the vent line. Just realized at the last minute I hadn't made those yet. So I quickly fabricated those, got them ready to go. Here's learning lesson number 2. I bought that pallet you see sitting on the scale off of eBay. Seemed like a great idea. It's for mixing body filler and stuff on, and it's just got these like plastic sheets you rip off one after another. But it does not work out so well with fuel tank sealant. And you can see me getting all the rivets out and getting them cleaned in some acetone and dried off so that they can cleanly stick to the sealant when it goes through there. Yeah, so the first problem with that pallet is it's just so big it doesn't fit on my scale very well. You also see me messing around with the air conditioner control, because I realized with the AC oscillating like it is, every time it blows down on the pallet, it's strong enough, you can see it blowing there, it's strong enough that it's changing the readings on the scale. Ultimately, I just had to move down to that little platform there and finish mixing this up. So here's the real problem with using that little pallet setup I've got. Seemed like a great idea, but the sealant is so sticky that you got to physically hold that stuff down to try and mix it up. So I think next time I'll just mix it in one of my little mixing cups and call it a day. Anyhow, following the Vans video advice, I'm buttering up the fuel flange, making a nice little peak in the middle, cleaning it off towards the edges, and I'm getting it clecoed in place. And yeah, I know, I just put the fuel clip on the wrong side, moved it to the right side. Taking some pieces of paper now and using it to scoop the excess sealant out of the rivet holes that squeezed through. Another trick from the Vans video. And there goes glove change number 1, because I already managed to get some sealant on my gloves, and I was leaving sealant fingerprints all over the tank skin. At this point, I was optimistic that I was going to be able to do this fairly cleanly. Yeah, that was not the case. Yeah, here I am realizing I cleaned off the wrong side of the bench. I need the other side cleaned off so I can get this thing into the C-frame to squeeze the rivets. And it did do a good job squeezing the rivets, with the exception of the fact that thankfully I figured it out before I set any of them. That flange gets thicker laterally along the tank line because it follows the curve of the tank. So The plans call for a 3-4 size rivet for the entire flange, but that is not true. You need to go up to at least a 3-5 for those thicker parts. So, got those in, had to get them cleaned. Wasn't fully prepared for that. It'll definitely go smoother on the next tank. Probably didn't need the Clecos in there since I'm back riveting it, and I might not do that. Well, on the next tank I'm going to use the rivet gun, so it won't matter, but I'll keep that in mind for future things that I'm riveting with that C-frame. And ended up just off camera, but I'm trying to clean up some of the mess there and get all the excess sealant off from around inside the filler neck and off of the skin. A little acetone goes a long ways. I'm definitely going to need a lot more acetone before this job is over. This is one thing I bought off of Amazon that did work nice. I got these sealant, caulking, whatever, silicone spatulas. And the smallest one is about the perfect size for making the fillets you need to make. So I just got a little excess sealant on there and then used that thing to spread it around. Worked really well. And there you saw me cut off a small section of vent line, and I'm using that to pick up some sealant and swirl that around each of the rivet manufactured heads of the rivets to finish encapsulating and sealing those off. All in all, this took me about an hour to do. Between this and the drain side, here's the drain. Had just enough sealant left to do the drain. That was the other thing, was kind of figuring out how much sealant it was going to take to do some of this stuff. Drain went on a lot cleaner. I was able to put that in right where I wanted it, get the rivets in, and then I just used the squeezer with a yoke and was able to squeeze all of those rivets, and they came out really nice. So as of this morning, posting this video, I have the stiffeners all set and ready to go. I will probably get those sealed and riveted on this afternoon, but I needed to get this video off the camera because I'm getting ready to go fly my very first actual trip as a private pilot. I'm going to fly up to College Station, meet up with my daughter, get some lunch, and fly home. So I'll probably record that. That'll go on the flying videos section of stuff if y'all are following along for that. I also got the rest of the fittings in for my fuel return lines and all that other good stuff, so more to come on that. I'm going to try and get as much stuff done this weekend as I can before I leave again, but this will be a fairly short trip. It'll only be a little over a week, and I'll be back doing some more stuff again. Things are definitely moving along. Yeah, those are all riveted in, and now I'm just soaking stuff in acetone and doing my best to clean everything off. I think I've got the process sort of figured out, but yeah, still a long ways to go. Hope you all enjoyed it. Come back and I'll see you on the next one.